As the executive coach for women, I work with my clients helping them step into their full leadership potential. And to that end, I spend a lot of time helping them understand the cultural environments that they're working in. Many of my clients work in male-dominated industries and male-dominated offices. Like my recent client, Tammy, who approached me complaining about how aggressive the people she worked with are, including her boss. She even used the word bully for the executive team. She understood that she had been hired into the organization because of her specific and unique subject matter expertise, and yet she saw the organization making some bad decisions because what she knew to be the right path was being ignored. She couldn't get her voice heard, and people were not appropriately valuing what her contribution could be. She was even asking me if maybe it was time for her to move on to another organization. What we started with was helping her understand that she was approaching work a lot differently from a very different perspective than the men that she works with. Men, generally speaking, view work as a competition. Work is a hierarchy where there's one person in charge. One person has to be in charge, or otherwise the whole place would descend into chaos, right? So understanding then that they use talk for helping them establish status within that hierarchy helped her better realize that this is why the guys were talking about themselves all the time. But then she asked the question about, well, why are they always arguing with each other? And I helped her realize that that is a way that men use to resolve differences. Fighting is an important strategy for resolving those differences so that you can be in agreement and move forward. How is this important to her? Well, Tammy, being a woman, is more likely to approach her work environment as if it's a co-op where all power is even and the objective is for everyone's needs to be met. And to that end, women use talk to establish rapport and build relationships. We're trying to figure out if we like each other, so then we can discern how best to work with each other. So we're always putting other people forward, we're helping other people advance, and putting ourselves rather secondary, right? Well, you can see then, and she started to realize that her approach to work was self-defeating before she even got in the game with the guys. What was the solution for her? She needed some ground rules. She needed to set up some ground rules with the people that she works with. And what we worked out was for her to sit down with her boss in a one-on-one conversation, just the two of them, so that she could explain to him what she was running up against and the impact that that was having, not just on her, but also on the organization as a whole. Remember, I mentioned she observed that the company was making some bad decisions because they were lacking information that she could have offered. She was quite surprised then to realize that her boss was so agreeable to helping support her in this particular environment when she said, what I need is the next time I'm addressing the executive committee, I need these people to know they can't argue with me, they can't interrupt me while I'm making my presentation, and they certainly can't continue to shout me down. He actually was a little relieved that she had brought that up because he acknowledged that the people in the room were starting to have a little too much fun fighting with each other, and it really was self-defeating. So the ground rules then set in place. She got agreement from him that he would support her the next time she was presenting to the executive committee, which she did. And it went something like, look guys, these are the rules, this is the way we're gonna do it, you're gonna let me get through my presentation, and then I'll take Q&A at the end. However, I think my presentation is going to answer most of your questions before we even get there. So the opportunity here for women in an organization really is a leadership opportunity for you to explain that this is a cultural divide that in fact does need to be bridged. I hope I've inspired you to a conversation like that in your workplace today. And if you have, I'm interested in your results. If you'll leave me information in the comment box below, I'll look forward to what you have to say. Thanks for listening.